Hello, sports fans. We have a real treat for you thanks to AccuStats, Sang Lee, and two world-class Balkline players. We're about to enjoy an exhibition for the first time in many, many years in the United States of what we call 18.2 BALKLINE. Excuse me. I will explain it to the viewers. You would be announced to the crowd each time. You can start. That was a little delay to make sure everybody understood that the referee, in this case Mr. Van Brabant, will call in and out, so the player will know whether he has to drive a ball across the line or not. You'll notice that the table is divided into 9 rectangles. The lines are drawn 18 inches from each rail. The object of the game is to score straight billiards. You don't need to hit a rail, but you can only score 2 points in any rectangle before driving a ball across a line. My name is Robert Byrne, and in the booth here to help me understand this mysterious game is Tommy Thomsen of Beaverton, Oregon. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Bob. Nice to be here.
Have you ever seen this game played?
Only in old-time movies.
Shooting the ball on the break shot is Frederic CAUDRON, who is the world champion in this form of the game. Notice that that's not a 3-cushion way of playing the break shot. He wants to shoot it softly to keep them at the same end of the table. Now his opponent is Mr. Peter de BACKER, also of Belgium, and he is the European champion of Balkline. The United States used to dominate this form of the game with players like Jake Schaefer Jr., Willie Hoppe, and Welker Cochran. But we haven't had a competition in this country for 50 years, probably. I think the last one was in the late 30s. Now you see all he has to do is make his cue ball hit the other 2 balls. That's a point. And and the further restriction is that he can only make 2 points in any one area before a ball crosses the line. Notice in that case he drew back lightly to the yellow and used such speed that the red went all the way around the table and back close to the yellow. Now there's all kinds of masse shots in this game, and that's why Welker Cochran thought it was the hardest of all games to learn, because you need exquisite speed, and all of the masse shots have to be mastered from just slight elevation to 90 degrees. Yes, he is now has to drive a ball out of the box in this shot. Now watch him bringing the yellow back close to the red so that he has an easy shot. You have to be a master of all that speed control. And on a draw shot, you can hit just a little below center or very low for lively draw, depending on how far you want to drive the first ball. Rail first off the red and down to the yellow. It's 1 point per carom, and they're going to play a game of 150 points. Now, both players are capable of running 150 and out.
Does that happen very often in these games, Bob?
Well, I don't know how to answer that question. It does happen maybe once in 10 games or something. The lines, I'll repeat, are 18 inches from the rails, dividing the table into 9 areas. You can only make 2 points in an area without driving a ball across a line. Now, even that becomes too easy to these players because they can get the 2 balls straddling a line and near a rail, and then you can keep swinging back and forth off the tops of the ball. So they sometimes add anchor blocks where the chalk lines hit the rail so that you can't get the 2 balls next to a rail straddling a line. We didn't draw them on the table in this case because we're just playing an exhibition. Now watch him bring the yellow all the way back near the red.
Do they play equal innings in this game, Bob?
No.
No.
So a player can break and run out. Both of them have run probably 400 or 500 in this game without a miss, but he's in a little trouble here to keep the balls in the same end of the table. Notice he'll shoot a masse here.
Beautiful.
And not lose the balls. It's not just a masse to score, it's a masse with controlled speed. If the lines weren't there and they could just play straight billiards, I don't think Mr. CAUDRON would get back to the table. Notice the speed he used there to bring the yellow back to the red. Now it'll be interesting to see what he does here. I don't think he can go thin enough off the right side of the yellow.
He'll have to masse it, I think, again. If he does, he tries that.
He could try a masse,
No.
but instead he's going to go 2 rails first.
Very nice.
Also, he landed above the yellow so that he has them, both balls ahead of him. In this game, you don't want to get the cue ball between them. You'd rather have them both in front of you. Whereas in 3-cushion, it's usually better if the cue ball is between the 2 object balls. Okay, now I think he can make one more point in that block, but I believe he's going to drive the red over and back. There it comes. Now he can make 2 points in that square before he has to drive one out.
Any idea what the score is right now?
No, I don't. It's about 10 or 15. Now he's decided to drive the yellow all the way up and back. Now the cue ball will go slowly back to the red, see? And well, he didn't hit that quite right, so he's getting a little out of position. One of the secrets of this game is knowing how to, knowing the in-between shots that enable you to get them back together. One in-between shot, and now he'll drive the yellow up and back with a draw. This is what I meant about different kinds of draw. If you have to drive the yellow ball a long distance and just a short distance drawing back, then you don't hit it very low. See, lightly to the red, and up comes the yellow. It's almost like they're on rubber bands. Now he seems perplexed, but I have absolutely no idea why.
Well, I think that he can't quite get past the red ball to get the yellow. He's going to have a little bit of a masse, maybe. Or maybe a forced follow on the red ball.
I think he's going to do it your way.
It's a forced follow. Yeah, it's kissed out. Very nice run. Now, will they keep scoring the beats? I guess not.
Yes. He ran 17. Dave, why don't you ask him to put the score on the beads? This is not easy. I think he's going to draw it back to the end rail. Oh, he missed it.
He missed. Got the red ball over there, but missed the billiard.
I don't know how he's going to get them back together here.
2-cushion back to the corner.
He missed, but notice how he had the speed on the yellow to come right back in.
Right.
Now Mr. CAUDRON has an opening, and we'll see if he knows anything about the game. Now, in this case, he'll hit quite low, and notice he's elevating slightly to get a more lively draw so that he can hit at a certain speed and not too hard to lose control of the first ball. Okay, now, that's 1 point, and now he has to drive a ball across. He can make another point there because he's only made 1 in that area. Well, he got it across.
Does it have to be totally across the line, or just half the ball across the line?
Just the resting point has to be across the line. We just used a piece of blackboard chalk, so the lines are kind of gross. In the real game, that was a nice little masse. They use Taylor's chalk, that flat, kind of greasy chalk. It makes a finer, thinner line. Also, in this case, since we're going to... Oh, my,
No, he
lost
missed
that. He ran 5 or 6, so the score is 17 to... Oh, you only got 4. But Mr. De Backer is in perfect position again. Now watch him go above the red ball. Above the red. No, he's decided to play so that he has a drawback off the red. That's what you try to do. You set yourself up for another gather shot, they call it. Okay, now the whole thing is here's a speed on the red. Lightly to the yellow. And bring the red back in the same area. Now he's a little bit out of position.
Yes, after probably masse around the red. Do they generally use a lighter cue or a heavier cue for this game?
I think they use a lighter cue. But these, I don't think they brought their Balkline cues with them.
Mm-hmm. Lighter meaning 15 ounce maybe?
Yeah. Well, maybe not that light.
16 then probably.
They did shoot those masses with this total control. The key here is to land on the red in a certain way that will enable him to get a gather shot.
Oh, nice speed again.
It's amazing how they can play that. He might shoot a kiss back here. Or, let's see how he lines up.
Do they actually shoot behind their back in competition?
Yeah, I guess they do.
Yes,
see a kiss back. Now he'll have a drawback off the red. He can't get quite the right gather that he wants. He's looking at something else. Now watch how lightly he'll land lightly on the yellow. And they have such good control, he keeps above the yellow, because if he gets below it, then sometimes he has to drive the yellow again. But here he's above it so that he can... Now here he'll go real thin to the rail and bump the red back toward the yellow. Oops, a little thin. But he's okay, he has a drawback off the yellow. With such speed that the yellow will die near the red. Beautiful, isn't it?
That's fantastic. Is Kuhlman's also a champion of this game?
Yes, Kuhlman's plays all these games. See, now he has to get out of the box and bring it back. This is fantastic that we're catching this on tape because so many people wonder what Balkline is.
Yes.
They hear about it all the time. Now you're seeing it. Now he has to drive the red to this end and back up. Watch his speed control. Okay, the yellow, the referee has to decide if the yellow is in. I believe the yellow is in that square, so he'll only be able to make one and now drive a ball across a line. Back over to the cluster. They call that putting them all under a hat. A gather shot means bring them all together.
Looks like he's getting close to straddling the line.
In France, yeah. In France, I think they call it rendezvous. Bring all the balls together. Look at that speed.
Almost got him straddled now.
That's right. If now you hit that, see, the yellow is in one area and the red is in another, so he can just make as many as he wants.
Right.
Now this is the so-called Balkline nurse,
Yeah.
but he didn't quite get it.
That's right.
That's where you drive it to the rail and back out, and the ball you hit first comes and bumps the cue ball
There.
away and kills its speed. Now he's slightly above the red, I think, which means, oh no, he's going to do it this way. No, simple masse. This is duck soup for them. And he's above the red again so that he can easily get them together. That took a funny little roll there, so it's not as much angle as he wanted. Now draw off the red, land lightly on the yellow. Drive the yellow 3 rails. Land softly on the red. Here comes the yellow. This is the greatest teaching tool I can imagine, because I've been trying to learn straight billiards a little bit, and you can see diagrams in books, but there's nothing like watching it on tape.
No. What's amazing is how lightly and gently they stroke the ball. If you've ever tried that, you know how incredibly hard it is.
Especially when you need to draw the ball.
Yes.
We tend to shoot hard to make sure to get the draw action, but they shoot lightly.
Here's the behind the back shot now.
I think he's going to drive the yellow up and back.
Yes.
Now they lined up, but so what? Now he's going to go above and back so that he's facing the...
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That
No
was
effort.
exquisite.
That was
because
fantastic.
he controlled all 3 balls.
There, now he got it. The yellow ball outside the line. But now he's in 2 different squares now.
Right.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite got the perfect
Not quite.
position. And they have that touch of totally killing the cue ball speed, so it just goes a few inches and
Yes.
lands lightly on the red. He shakes his head as if he's in trouble, but you know he's not. I guess he's trying to add to the drama to pretend it's a hard shot. Okay, now he needs to do something. Now he's not in such hot shape.
No.
This will be a 2 or 3 shot sequence before he can get them back together. Oh, no.
Oh, maybe
Look at
not.
that.
Look at that. Look at that control.
Boy, that was really...
That's something.
I thought he was in trouble there.
Yeah. That's how much we know about the game.
Yeah. I suppose Mr. Caudron wasn't getting up out of his seat.
No, I noticed he was just almost asleep over there.
You can kind of see why this died out in this country as a spectator sport, because it's a very intimate type of parlor sport, you might say. It's a lot of fun for the players to be able to do this, but it doesn't play well to a big audience.
Right.
That's why 3-cushion has gained as a spectator type of billiards. Now he'll drive the yellow all the way up and back. Watch the speed control on the yellow.
Look at that, right back into the red if it's hard enough. It is fantastic.
Isn't
That is beautiful. Just
unbelievable?
beautiful. Now he's getting close to getting a real nurse now. If he just
Yes,
drive
if
that
he can
yellow
get
ball
one
just
ball,
a touch more.
That's right.
There, he did it. No,
No,
he
they're
did.
both
Hit
in
both
there.
the same one again.
You know, since we didn't bother putting those little anchor blocks there, maybe they're not going to exploit that.
That's possible.
That's a little box near the end of the line there to keep them from
And he played a kiss back
getting
off the
that
red.
certain position.
I also think, though, that since they don't have their Balkline cues, that perhaps these cue sticks are a little bit heavier than you're used to using.
That's true, and the cloth is faster than they usually play Balkline on.
We should have been keeping track of
Look
how
at
many he's been
that.
scoring. That's amazing, because it's hard.
I don't know what his run is. It's the referee might be counting it in some alien language. But he must have a run of 40 or 50.
I would say 51. So that's 52. Now I'll try and keep track from now on. That's 52.
It would be nice to see Mr. CAUDRON shoot. Mr. CAUDRON is the world champion. This fellow shooting is only the European champion. They play this a little bit in Japan and in South America, but it's mainly now a European discipline.
How many?
Look at this twice across on the
Yes,
yellow.
beautiful. How many players do you think there are in Europe that play this game? Is it in the
Thousands.
millions? It's not in the millions, though? Not that many?
Oh,
maybe?
no.
No, but certainly in the thousands.
It might be millions that play straight billiards, but to get good enough in straight billiards to move to these restrictive rules, you have to be awfully good.
Yes.
Usually when you go into a private club in Europe, you'll find one table marked up like this for people who want to play Balkline.
And they're always 10-foot tables?
Always 10-foot tables. You
Got it.
But I think he's frozen, and I believe the Balkline rules are that if it's frozen, you have to shoot the break shot.
Really? Well, apparently not.
Not frozen.
Oh, not frozen.
Now he's going to go up and back on the masse. Or just straight over. I thought it was going to be more of a U-shaped curve. Another beautiful game they play over there is one cushion, where you have to have one or more rails intervene before you hit the second ball. They're both world class in that too. That's a little bit more of a spectacular game, because occasionally in one cushion you have to go around the table like in three-cushion billiards. Okay, what'll he do? Here's a three-cushion shot.
Yep.
But he doesn't like the way he has to go into the red. He can't control the red.
He's just going to go one, looks like one cushion here.
Force follow. Oh, no, I see.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the knowledge comes in. To think of this shot, which now he can get them back together.
Exactly.
It's that intermediate shot.
Super control. Here he is again. Almost has the nurse again. The straddle shot. This next shot should give him a straddle shot.
That's just perfect.
Oh, not quite. But this one will, though.
Yeah. Now
There. Now the red ball's outside. He should be able to make quite a few here now.
he knows when to go through. He shot a little too soft because he hasn't got quite the angle he wants.
Right.
He's looking for the two-rail shot, but no, he's going to draw probably. And he shoots at such speed, and he also used right-hand English on the cue ball to influence the way the yellow came off the rail, so
Right.
it would stay close and not go away from the red. This is a one-cushion bank on the yellow. Two, I mean.
Look at that.
See, even though this is faster cloth than they usually play the game on, he's having no trouble controlling the balls. Okay, now watch the speed on the yellow again.
What kind of cloth do they usually use?
Well, it's the second
kind of
grade
Simonis?
Simonis.
I
It's
see.
because if the cloth is slower, it's easier to hold the balls in position.
Right.
This is very touchy for Balkline. Hard to control that fast speed. Is that 100, did he say, or 75?
I think that's probably 75 this run.
Well, at least Mr. CAUDRON can get a nice rest before his next 3-cushion match.
Right.
Now you see the artistry this takes, the knowledge of what shot to shoot, and this wonderful control. It makes you sad that the game died out in this country. Yeah, it's something to see. There's a run of 75.
And that should give him
76. And now
92.
Look at the perfect position he's in. That's a common technique, is where the object ball gets its speed killed by hitting the cue ball. They leave the cue ball dead in its path, and that's how they kill the speed. Never misses. I think what he's, well, now he's looking at the angle against the yellow. He played the position to draw back off the red, but he doesn't like the angle very much. Now, if you can see, he's using, oh, maybe not, it's just a straight draw over to the yellow, kill the speed, and bring the red at least down to this end of the table.
Right. You'd think you get tired after a while.
Well, that's right. This is one of those games where you try to keep your opponent in his seat, and if he does miss, you have to get out of your chair after sitting there for 30 minutes and be able to get right in stroke.
Yeah, it's tremendously hard to do. Beautiful.
Well, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
I suppose he has a plan. 2 rails off the red.
Mm-hmm.
He'll land dead on the red. And now he has a drawback off the red.
Mm.
Now this, he has 2 or 3 feet to draw the cue ball, so he has to hit it lower and with English to get to the rail and still judge that speed. Look at that.
Yes.
We're watching Peter de BACKER, Balkline Champion of Europe, and he is keeping the world champion, Frederic CAUDRON, in his chair. Here comes the red again.
Do they play the World Championships in round robins, or they play a single elimination?
No, I think it's single elimination. They have they play in little 4-man round robins, and then the winner of each advances. As I recall, I think it is into a final round robin of 4.
I see.
Watch where this dies.
Look at that. Perfect. Perfect speed.
That's CAUDRON on the monitor. He's the world champion, but he's unable to get to the table to show what he can do. Watch this mess, eh? He had to know what was going to happen there.
Yep.
Isn't it amazing? He's been playing 3-cushion all week. He hasn't been practicing this game. They tell him just a little while ago that that they want him to do a Balkline exhibition, and he steps up and is playing flawlessly.
It is amazing why they can do that.
Look at that speed control.
He could easily run 134 and out here,
I'll say.
where he's going.
Just like they're on strings. He's got a run of 99. To run 100 in this game is quite an achievement. Especially when you haven't even tried it for a few weeks.
Would you call that only just a world class? Only world class people could do that? 100?
Well,
Hard to say.
I don't know what would be considered world class anymore. See, it is slightly easier. That's a run of 100. The averages in this game went up when they changed away from ivory. Ivory, when you're shooting very softly, you sometimes lose a point because it rolls off right at the last second. But when they changed to these composition balls, they're absolutely true, and averages jumped 10 or 20%.
So what is a good average then in Balkline these days?
Well, in this form of the game, I think Jake Schaefer used to average 40 or 50 an inning, and that's still considered a good average.
Can you compare that to a three-cushion average? Like, say, that might be like a 1.3 average in
Well, if you
three-cushion?
think of, now watch the kiss back.
Yes.
Three cushion averages went up about 20% when they changed away from ivory.
Right.
So he's very likely to run the team out. He started with 17 and now he's got over 100. And nothing that happens seems to be a problem. They do a lot of influencing of the first ball with side spin on the cue ball to influence the way it comes off the rail. See, and you lose track of the fact that he's not gathering them together and keeping them there like you could in straight billiards.
Right, exactly.
His masse is totally secure.
I've seen him shoot quite a number of masse shots in the three-cushion tournament.
Have you?
This week, yes, I have. I'd say easily 10.
Really? Yeah, that's probably a kiss back. Or can he finesse it?
I just cut it thin.
And he landed just slightly above the red. Now I use left-hand English on the draw to bring the red closer. You don't want to use outside English because that makes it worse.
Right.
Now, all these awkward masse positions, they know how to handle them. He only needs 22 or 3 more. Okay, let's watch how well he
Yes.
controls the speed on the red.
Wow.
Not bad. Never gets out of... he hasn't really had any monster shot. Of course, when you can do those masses...
Well, he had that one two-cushion shot all the way up
Yeah.
and down the table. And other than that, he said nothing. Now, this masse should be interesting. It's only if the cue ball is frozen, not the other two balls are frozen.
I don't know what the rule is anymore. Now.
That was nice. That was
It's
beautiful.
just no problem.
That was beautiful.
Now, keep right on those balls with the camera because you'll stay right there a few times. It's a cozy little game. Now watch this control here. In this game, unlike straight goers, I think they like to leave themselves a little space because they often have to shoot these drives.
Right. Something you don't see too often in straight rail billiards.
No. Man, his speed control on this cloth
It is amazing.
couldn't be any better.
No.
Always gets a nice angle. See, kill the speed on that ball by hitting the cue ball.
Oh, now he's got the straddle shot here now. He's got both balls straddled.
Right. Now watch him kill the speed by the red ball hitting the cue ball.
Again, a straddle shot.
Now he can set himself up for that same shot. Now he'll do that again.
He must be
See, that's
very
the
close to being
so-called
out.
Balkline nurse, where you nurse them out there 18 inches from the rail. He did that to get a little curve because he wanted to get below the red. Land lightly on the yellow. So he lost the ideal position, so now he has to turn around.
That's it.
There it is.
That's it. Fantastic. 133 and
A
out.
run of 133 and out, keeping the world champion in his chair. There's a fabulous exhibition, and Mr. CAUDRON seems as amused as anybody. The crowd was very appreciative of that, and we appreciate. They're asking the world champion to take a shot, I think, but that's it. On behalf of AccuStats, I'm very appreciative that Pat Fleming has taped this match, because now we have something so we can learn some of the small games of billiards. My name is Robert Byrne. That was an exhibition of Balkline. There's the world champion and the European champion together. A brilliant exhibition. And thank you, Tommy, for sitting in here and helping me try to figure out this mysterious game.
My pleasure.